Hello viewers, I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again we have with us attorney David Nachman, my partner, and a very important guest. Hold on a second, we'll introduce him to you. And we welcome you to our program on immigration and legal affairs. And as I said, a very, very important guest we have today is Mr. Craig Sanko, who is the Deputy Chief of the CBP office. 21 years he has been with the service, and he started with the former U.S. Customs in 1991. If you remember, once upon a time, there was only Immigration Service, and all these agencies, CBP, ICE, and other agency, Customs, or all, not Customs, the others were part of the, and in 1903 probably, I think they broke down to different agencies.
2003, correct.
2000, yeah. And then he moved 2003, yeah, and he moved to CBP. That's when CBP was actually formed. And he's a supervisor of the narcotics enforcement, the deputy chief of the outbound. Okay, and deputy chief of passenger analytical, which is the main thing that you do. Am I right?
That's correct. We electronically screen all passengers prior to their arrival here in the United States.
And I believe that most of the things you do or you're responsible for is electronically screen all the passengers who are traveling into JFK and also their arrival, not Newark.
No, just JFK.
JFK. Okay, now he was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our viewers in Charlotte are watching also. So you were there also for a period of about 3 years, from 98 to 2001. Correct. Welcome, very welcome, sir.
Well, thank you.
And we are really happy that you are here today. And all the viewers, listen to the program very carefully. You are going to get a lot of good information, specifically all of us here today trying to talk about the global entry program. And I don't want to spend all the time about explaining you, because that's why the deputy chief is here, and he's going to explain you all about how to enroll into the CB program and the complete process, the waiting times, the fees, the benefits. Why does a person who can enroll himself, the U.S. citizens, green card holders, and some others?
Well, Michael, before we turn it over to Officer Sanko, what I'd like to do is take an opportunity to thank Officer Sanko and his offices for taking the time and the effort to come and join us here, because we do know his time is extremely valuable, and we want to thank him for that. Also, I just want to say a quick word about the Global Entry Program, which is also referred to as the Trusted Traveler Program, which has been an initiative now for some time by Customs and Border Protection. And this comes it comes from on high in Washington, D.C., where this has been a very large initiative. And you've heard Michael and I talk about it within the context of the Obama administration being interested in moving people to the United States in a relatively fast manner, but at the same time being able to provide for our nation's security. So with that, we'll talk.
And when David said officers, let me mention this. We have additional CBP officials here. Later on in the program, they are going to give you an actual demonstration of how the enrollment is done. So don't go away, sit there, stay tuned, and we will talk more about this program. And with that, I request Officer Craig to please explain to our viewers, start with, why should a person who is a citizen or a green card enroll? What is the benefit?
Well, the benefits of the Trusted Traveler Program are that once a person applies and is enrolled in the program, you get an expedited processing. The usual processing time at an airport, depending on volume, can run anywhere from 30 minutes up until 120 minutes. Once enrolled in this program, the average processing time when a passenger uses one of our kiosks is about 4.5 minutes. So it's an expedited processing through 26 of
Let's go step by step. Of course, myself and David both are already enrolled in the program. And we'll talk to you about our experience, how good it is. And also in 7 minutes exactly, we were out. both immigration customs just by using our global entry program. But most people here, the viewers that are watching you, maybe 500,000 people all over the country, want to know step by step, how do they start? I mean, step 1, step 2, step 3, and at what point their passport is stamped and the card is issued.
Okay. Well, first let's discuss who's eligible for the program. Currently, global entry is open to all U.S. citizens, all lawful permanent residents, alien registration card holders, green card holders,
Correct.
Citizens of Mexico, citizens of Canada, if they enroll.
All the citizens of Mexico?
All citizens of Mexico.
That's good news. Wonderful.
All citizens of Canada, as long as they enroll on our Nexus program, they can get global entry benefits. Citizens of the Netherlands, if they enroll in the Netherlands Flux program. All citizens of Qatar. We're currently in a limited pilot program with the United Kingdom. Right now that's open to 1,000 UK citizens. We'll expand that program after the conclusion of the 2012 Olympics. We're also in a program with Germany. We're also under memorandums of understanding with Israel, Panama, Korea, and Japan. And sometime in the near future, probably within the next 12 months, you'll see us expand into those countries. And we're always looking to expand with other nations around the world.
So hopefully I'm saying, sometime in the future, it may happen that India can be, or some limited manner, and India could also be included.
We hope
Hopefully, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now let's go further now. These are the people that are eligible for enrollment. So starting, how do they start? They have to go on a computer, they have to go on a line, they have to fill up some form, they have to pay some fees. How do we start?
Right. The initiation, the application, the initial process is to go online at our either the GOES website or the Global Entry website, and you fill out a questionnaire online. It usually takes about 45 minutes. We then conduct what we call a biographical background check on the applicant, at the end of which the applicant is given what we're called conditional approval, which means they're eligible to come into one of our 27 enrollment centers nationwide and go through the enrollment process, which we'll be demonstrating later. At the end of that application, the applicant must pay a $100 fee. Now that $100 fee is good for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, you'll be prompted to reapply, pay another $100, which breaks down to $20 a year, $1.55 a month, which is less than what most people pay for a cup of coffee in a day, to bypass a line which could be anywhere from, as I previously mentioned, half an hour to 120 minutes. That's 2 hours. So it's well worth it. Once you're prompted online that you've been conditionally approved, the applicant then goes online into and applies to be enrolled at one of our enrollment sites. Here in the metropolitan area, we offer enrollments at Newark International Airport, JFK International Airport, and something that is unique to CBP, New York has the only off-site enrollment center, which is the old Customs House in Lower Manhattan down in Bowling Green.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because I know, as you said, you are the only one that has a kind of mobile registration. And for the viewers, if we have a sufficient number of people who would enroll in the program, and after they get the approvals, we'll be more than happy to organize right here in TV Asia your enrollment. Our officials from the CBP will be happy to come here to do the enrollment.
That's correct. In addition to our static enrollment sites,
Yeah.
we do offer a program for mobile enrollments, whereby a company or an entity, if they can get a minimum number of applicants enrolled in the program, we will come out and interview them on site. Therefore, and this was mostly beneficial to companies or organizations where they can get all their applicants into one place. We can come out and enroll as many as 120 to 200 in one day.
So I'm sure that this program is being watched by also some CEOs or some persons who belong to big companies. And what you are saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that any good company that has several employees, 100, 200, 500, 1,000 employees, that want you to go to their company and do the registration, would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely. We conduct, out of JFK, we conduct mobile enrollments on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. We're out usually in Lower Manhattan conducting enrollments for travel agencies, law firms, financial institutions, banks. We also have done some local charity organizations. So if you can get us 24 applicants, we'll come out and enroll you
I'm going
no matter where you
to
are.
appeal to our viewers in our viewer groups. If you are in that situation, you have a company, you have a group of people, non-profit organizations, anybody that wants to get the help of CB people coming to your place and enrolling the people there. Obviously, remember, before they can come and do that, your people must go online and apply, pay the fees, and get the approval. Only then the last part, that is the enrollment, registration, whatever you call it, will happen in the location where you want them to come.
That's
Am I right?
correct.
Correct.
So,
whichever, yeah.
so Michael, I just want to point out for our viewers that what they can do is they can take a look on the screen. Flashing right now is the website where they can go to obtain information about the global entry system.
And we are showing the website on the screen, and take a note of that. Now, how many, I mean, this is done nationwide in the US, right?
Correct.
The program, you do it whatever you said, the mobile here only,
Right.
but most of the places people go to the airports and all that. I think it's about time for us to take a short break, and right after the break we'll come back and we will discuss more about a lot of other issues, questions people have, and we're going to ask you, Mr. Craig, to respond to those questions and explain to our people more and more information so that more and more people can come and enroll in the global entry program. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Welcome back. Just before the break, we were talking to Deputy Chief Mr. Craig Sanko, and he's the Deputy Chief for the CBP, and he was explaining to us about the global entry program. Before the break, we were also talking about they have a mobile unit that they are more than happy to go to any company, any entity, non-profit organization, TV Asia, to do the enrollment on the site, and they just told me that as long as they have at least 24 or more people. So feel free, don't feel shy. If you need any help on that, you can always contact TV Asia, you can contact David, you can contact me, and we'll be more than happy to put you in touch with Mr. Sanko and the CBP people.
Absolutely. Okay,
Let's go back to what we were talking earlier. The question that I had is that there's so many airports all over the country. I mean, this is a very good thing, that if there's a group of people, you can go and do on a mobile. But those people, individuals, they just want to enroll and then go to any airport. Any airport or some designated airports?
It's 25 designated airports around the United States, and those are 25 of our busiest airports.
I assume that most of the big cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, Detroit, would you say that?
All have global entry
all have
enrollment
global
centers,
entry
correct.
programs. So if you are listening to this program, you take advantage of that. Obviously, I think that on-site is only in your area, not in Chicago or Los Angeles.
Every one of our locations offers on-site enrollments.
Okay, very good. So then you may try to find out about that, and that would help you. And if you need any assistance again in that connection, let us know. And I'm sure Officer Sanko will be more than happy also.
Yes,
if you're
I will.
calling from Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, any place, and you want to know some information about the local CBP authorities that they can contact for organizing in their company or organization.
Correct.
Very.
Right, and Michael, I think what we're going to do is we're going to flash on the screen the most up-to-date list of the airports, the local airports that have the global entry program, so that everyone can see that, all our viewers. Okay.
So now you were talking about that this global entry program is not only for the US citizens and green card holders in the US, but also to many other countries, as you explained earlier.
Correct.
And I know I'm repeating this again because most of our viewers always, while they are watching that, think, oh, what about India? Oh, what about India? So to our viewers, this, I'm not asking a question. I know the information is that we are all hoping that someday, hopefully, they may have other countries, including India, to be enrolled in the program. I think that is probably going to take a long time because they may have some other priorities prior to that. But we will let you know if any new addition comes in. We advise you of this program.
Yes, we will.
No, something that I was talking to David while we were driving. David, remember about the TSA, and I was asking David, is it possible that there may be some kind of coordination between the CBP people, global entry people, and the TSA, where those people who are entered in the global entry program may have a little benefit domestically traveling. For example, the security that we have lines and people say, oh, but I have a global entry card and my background is completely thoroughly checked, so it should be a little easier for me to go through the security. Is something like that? Is there
Well,
any?
I'm glad you asked that question because TSA recently rolled out their TSA PreCheck program, of which global entry members are automatically eligible for that program. So once you're enrolled in global entry, you're eligible for the TSA PreCheck, which means you'll get expedited screening at 38 of the largest airports domestically. Now the TSA PreCheck is only good for domestic travel, but once again, once enrolled, you'll be prompted, when you make your reservation, you're prompted for your global entry number, your GOES number, to put into your reservation, and that automatically qualifies you or makes you eligible for the TSA program.
So I'm saying, I'm appealing again. A lot of people say, but I don't travel internationally maybe once in 3 years, 4 years. Is it really important for me? I'm a US citizen anyway, so most of the time there's a smaller line I get out anyway. Why should I? This is another very big important reason for you, believe me. Once the TSA that extended that courtesy and recognizes you as a global entry person, you are much smoother, even domestically if you're traveling a lot. What does it cost you? $100 for 5 years, man. I mean, this is one of the best things that ever happened, I would say.
Sure, and if you've ever been on that line, and if you
I
only
know,
use
we
it
know. Actually,
once,
yeah.
We
you
know
can
I
that.
see
mean,
the
David
man
and
pay
we just came
$100 to
back
get off
from
that
India,
line.
Officer Senko. We just came back from India about 2 months ago, and my first coming back after the entry program. So David had probably previously traveled and used that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's a separate exit, not the regular lines. You walk in, you go to Kesok, and you put in your passport, you put your fingerprints, boom. You have some information to complete. Some of the information relates to basically agriculture issues. Remember, when you are in the airport, they give you, if you are even a citizen or a green card holder, they give you a customs form to fill up.
On the plane.
On the plane.
On the plane, yeah.
No more. With global entry, you don't no form at all. When you come out of the airport, you go to Kesok, even that information online say you carry this, you carry
Right
mangoes,
on
you
the
carry
screen.
pickle, no. Whatever, truthfully, I'm saying. You put in all that, it's no, then you just say no. And press the button, and there will be a printout, a small label, like a gate pass, exit pass. You carry that. The officer at the, outside the CB officer, say, welcome home, sir. How was the trip? Fine. Here's the card. Goodbye.
That's correct. And you, as you mentioned, last time through, it took you 7 minutes to go from plane side out to curbside. As you become more adept or you use the kiosk more and more, that time will decrease. We've seen people come through, process themselves at a kiosk and be curbside if they